Hey, Shalom, this is YAHAWAH with the GMS Dallas camp. First off, I want to give all praises to YAHAWASHI, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well, and salutations to the Akim scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, keeping his word in truth and sincerity. Now, I just want to go into a topic, like a milk topic. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much understanding the difference between your mind and your heart. You know what I mean? Because the scriptures say, talk about the heart. Like for example, Jeremiah 17:9. It says the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? You know what I'm saying? And when it means your heart, man, it's not talking about your actual heart. That muscle that pumps blood. You know what I'm saying? And it's talking about your mind. So let's see. I'm gonna go back a little bit and do some milk scriptures. Go back and do the milk, pretty much. Because it's important to always go back to the milk and practice these things. Because after a while you do start to forget. You know what I'm saying? So it's always good to go back and do these things again. But anyway, let's see. The Hebrew word for heart is la'ab, right? Which is inner man, mind, will, heart, understanding. Inner part, midst of things, heart of man, soul, heart of man, mind, knowledge, thinking, reflection, memory, inclination, resolution, determination of will, conscience, heart of moral character, as seat of appetites, as set of emotions and passions, as seat of courage. Okay, you know what I'm saying? When it's talking about your heart, it's talking about your mind. You know what I'm saying? Because all your heart does is pump blood. Keeps you alive. Okay, it's just a muscle. In a nutshell, Now there's an article I wanted to read. Pretty much, going into how people try and justify that. Look, there's neurons in the heart, so that means so there's got to be there's got to be a way that your heart also feels and thinks for itself. No, man, it's just our stomachs have neurons. We have neurons all over our body, man. Just because we have neurons in our brain doesn't mean that it's the same thing as the neurons in our heart. So I'm gonna read this article, okay, and it's gonna explain to you, that no, your heart can't think. The seat to the mental capacity is in your mind. You know what I'm saying? It's in your head, your brain. Okay. Let's see. This is cardiac consciousness. Can we really think with our hearts? Okay. Let's see. Start off right here. Actually, yeah, right here. Some people have even contended that there may be a scientific basis for the terminologies, citing the alleged existence of brain cells in the heart and implying that the blood pumping organ might indeed have a mind of its own. So there'll be people going around that, look, we got brain cells in our heart, and it's going to explain to you right here. Watch. So what if it does have brain cells? Watch. It says, but can you really think with your heart? It's time for some myth busting, okay? Let's see. Let's first take a look at the claim that there are brain cells in the heart. The human brain, like all other parts of the body, is made up of cells. One crucial cell type in the brain is the neuron, a specialized cell with structures that allow it to send and receive information from other cells using electrical signals called action potentials, okay? Our brains contain a whole lot of neurons, roughly 86 billion. Damn, that's a lot. Let's see, but neurons are found in other parts of the body too. Okay, so there's neurons found all over us. Okay, including the gut and the heart, right? So there's neurons in our gut and our heart. So does that mean that our gut can think for itself too? Do we use our gut to make decisions as well? Let's see, these neurons are part of the automatic nervous system, which regulates vital functions like digestion and heart rate. Okay, so look, see what we just read. Look, these neurons, talking about the neurons that are part of the automatic nervous system, which regulate vital functions like digestion and heart rate. The heart contains far fewer neurons than the noggin, right? So they contain way less neurons than our brain, right? And their job is not to think in the way that folks have misinterpreted, right? They help the heart react to various demands placed on it by the body. Because the heart has such an important job, it needs to have cells that help regulate its beating, right? So them cells and neurons in our heart just regulate our beating, our heart beating, right? For example, our hearts must adjust every time we stand up or sit down to keep our blood pressure at the right level and ensure we don't pass out. But this system acts largely unconsciously, which should be a relief. Imagine if you had to consciously control your heart activities every time you move, man. So there you go. You know, hey, them neurons in our heart or in our gut or wherever are used for a different type of reason. Like we just read, man, them neurons are used in our heart are used to regulate our blood, our blood being pumped. You know, like we just read, right? For example, our hearts must adjust every time we stand up or sit down to keep our blood pressure at the right level. You know what I'm saying? You know, they help the heart react to the various demands placed on it by the body. You know what I'm saying? See, the neurons in the heart do communicate with the brain by providing feedback signals, which in turn may affect our emotions. When we experience something physically, it can change our emotional state. When our hearts race, we may feel anxious. You know what I'm saying? So when you get scared, you know what I'm saying, your heart starts beating fast. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. You know, it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing deep. You know, like it ain't like, yeah, you see, you know, my heart's telling me to do this. You know, but I know in my mind that I need. No, man, all the you know, your thinking and what you gonna do what you want to do tomorrow or where you gonna go eat and all that. It all comes from your mind, your brain. Okay. So let's go back. Salakia, man, you know, Ishikar was fucking around and shit. Salakia. But anyways, I'm gonna try and make this quick. Let's see. This is Jeremiah 7. Back in Jeremiah 17 and 9, right? The heart is deceitful above all things, and desperately wicked. Who can know it? You know what I'm saying? Because the heart is deceitful, man, and desperately wicked. You know what I'm saying? That's why in Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5, it tells you not to lean to your own understanding. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to rely on the Most High, you know, for everything. You know, when it comes to reading the scriptures, man, you can't just come up with some bullshit just because you thought of it. You know, you gotta attain to them wise counsels, like it says in Proverbs chapter 1. Okay, now I'm gonna show you another one in Matthew. Okay. See, Matthew 15 and 18, right? This is YAHAWASHI speaking. But those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart, and they defile the man, right? Those things that proceed out of the mouth come from the heart. So let's get that heart, the word heart in the Greek, right? So we can get an understanding on that, right? So it's cardia. You know, that's why we call it cardio. You know what I'm saying? When you go out running and do exercises, you know, things like that, right? Versus let's see, right, cardia. The heart, the organ in the animal body which is the center of the circulation of the blood, and hence was regarded as the seat of physical life. Because it was regarded as a seat of physical life. Back then. By some Edomite. I forgot his name. Let's see. Let's look it up real quick. Just, I'm kind of curious now. Let's see. Seat. Oh shit. It's lucky. This over here. Seat of mental capacity. What the hell? Was it Plato? Let's give it his thumbs. Just like, give me a second. I'm just trying to make sure. Yeah, I think it was Plato. Plato does not attempt to give a philosophical or scientific account on the soul or mind. It is accepted without question. Plato's treatment of the soul has relevance for both his ethics and his political philosophy. Firstly, Plato discusses the nature of the soul, putting forward a tripartite model. Secondly, he is interested in its immortality. Okay, this is going to something else. Alright. Well, anyways, yeah, I believe it was Plato who believed that the seat of mental capacity was your actual heart, but later on it was discovered that it was actually your brain. But anyways, let's see. The soul or mind, as it is the fountain and seat of the thoughts, passions, desires, appetites, affections, purposes, endeavors of the understanding, the faculty and seat of the intelligence, of the will and character of the soul, so far it is affected and stirred in a bad way or good, or of the soul as the seat of the sensibilities, affections, emotions, desires, appetites, passions, right? So it's talking about your mind, your brain, okay? Or I'm going to read that again, Matthew 15 and 18. But those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart, and they defile the man, So those things that come out of your mouth, things you say and the things you speak, man, you coming up with those things in your mind, because you're going to think about something, something you want to say, or something you believe in, or something you want to state. It's coming from your brain, right? Your mind. For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornications, thefts, false witnesses, blasphemies. You know what I'm saying? And that's true. Them thoughts, them evil thoughts, man, them wicked thoughts do come from your mind. You think of it in your mind. Especially this wicked people that walk around here every day. You know what I'm saying? They always thinking, or walking around thinking some shit in their heads, which is where they how do you say, where they generate those thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Those evil thoughts, like we just read, verse 20. These are the things which defile a man, but to eat with unwashed hands defileth not a man. But Yahawah was making a point to these wicked ass Pharisees, okay? But anyways, yeah, like we read, for out of the heart proceeded evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornications, thefts, false witnesses, blasphemies, so like we read in Jeremiah 17 and 9, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked, who can know it? So you're not, you can't just rely on information or an opinion that you think is right. You got to go according to this wisdom. You can't just trust in what you feel or what you think is right. You know what I'm saying? You gotta let's get that. Let's get that in Proverbs. You know. Let's see. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart. You know, with all thine mind, because that same word in the Hebrew, la'av, is used in that verse, right? It says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. You know what I'm saying? Lean not to your understanding, because it says in the New Testament, I forgot where, maybe we'll get it. You know, it said, when a man thinketh to know something, he knoweth nothing. You know? And that's true, man. If you're going around thinking you know some shit just because you came up with a valid point in your mind, don't mean that it's right, or it don't mean anything. You know, you could be hella wrong, man. Like Plato, he thought that the seat of mental capacity was in your heart, your actual heart, that blood pumping vessel. You know what I'm saying? Or that blood pumping muscle. You know, and he was hella wrong. And he was known as a great man. You know what I'm saying? When it came to philosophy and things like that. Okay, so let's read that again. Proverbs 3 and 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, with all your mind, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. You know what I'm saying? You gotta trust in YAHAWASHI, okay? Let's see, verse 7. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. You know what I'm saying? You know, don't be wise in thine own eyes. Okay? Don't be trusting in your mind and your own wicked thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Let's see, just one more. It's a rock that I want to get. Let's see, where we at? It's a rock. Ecclesiasticus chapter 6. Alright, extol not thyself in the counsel of thine own heart, that thy soul be not torn in pieces as a bowstring alone, man. So extol not thyself in the counsel of thine own heart, man. Let's see what that word extol means. Praise enthusiastically, man. You know, don't praise yourself enthusiastically in thy, in the counsel of thine own heart. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. See, it says upward raise, right? So it means, to praise enthusiastically, like we just read. Okay. Where did we read that? Yeah, praise enthusiastically, man. So don't praise yourself enthusiastically in your own heart, man, in your own mind, in your own wicked thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Trust in YAHAWASHI, man. You know, and he'll direct your path, like we read in Proverbs chapter 3. Okay? You know, and with that, I'm saying, Shalom.